Hey, what's good, Jesus Generation family? It's your boy Joseph. I've given y'all 3 ways or 3 things that I wish I would have known in the beginning of my faith walk. If y'all didn't know, I've been saved for about 8 months now. And these are 3 things that, bro, if someone would have told me these 3 things, I would have just excelled in my faith and would have kept going. And I'm going to keep these videos just raw, unedited. I'm just going to tell you straight up. I just wrote them on a note card and I'm going to just go through the list. I'm going to explain how each one works. And we're just going to talk about it. And hopefully this video impacts you and helps you grow, because these 3 things would have helped me so much if I would have understood it in the beginning of my faith walk. So if you're new, or if you've been walking in the faith, maybe these 3 things will speak to you. Or if you're new to Jesus, you can try these 3 things and see what happens in your life. So first thing I got is read the word. Easy, simple. All you're going to do is get a Bible and you're going to start reading the word. Now, that's a lot easier said than done, because people said, read the Bible, read the Bible. And so I would get a Bible and I didn't know where I was supposed to read. I'd read in the beginning, and then you read Genesis and it talks about like 2 things came in and Noah building a boat and all this type stuff. I don't know what it's talking about. So if I was giving myself advice, or if I'm giving it to a new believer, whoever, I'd say start in John. John 1 is going to be your first. That's the gospel. That's going to talk about when Jesus came down, and John was the closest person to Jesus. So who knows Jesus the most? It's going to be John. So he wrote all about him. He wrote about who Jesus was, why he came down, all these aspects of who Jesus is, and all these things. And then when you're reading the Bible, just really take your time and go through it. You can skim through it once, but it's a book and it's words. And we talk about it on our podcast that I'll be posting here soon. And we talk about how the word is the living an active word of God. That is God. The word is God. And that might not make sense to you now. I know I was confused about it at the beginning, but just know that the word is alive and it's active. It's God putting himself in this book so that we can understand who God is. So starting John, another cool thing is starting in Proverbs. That just gives you a simple approach of how to go through wisdom in life, what's good, what's bad, and different aspects. Proverbs, there's 31 of them, and you can go through one a day. And they're just cool. They're like, I love them. I still read them now, and I just think they dope. Like the dopest thing. You read it, and it's just wisdom, bro. It's godly wisdom. So if you want to really wisdom, check out Proverbs. If you want to go through stories, go to Old Testament, and we'll make videos on the Bible and all that. But if you're just starting reading the Bible or anything, I'd start in John 1, and then I'd read some Proverbs, and just starting there, and just read that, and just learn who God is, and also when you're reading the Bible, really invite God in and say, God, I don't know nothing about you. I don't know anything, but I'm going to try and read this Bible. So I'm just praying that you help me understand. That leads me to point number 2. So point number 2 is going to be prayer. Prayer is going to be the biggest thing. That's your relationship with God. This is a relationship. This isn't just reading some stories or reading some stuff. No, this is a relationship. This is building this connection with God. So to build that connection with God is taking time out of your day to spend with him, or just inviting him into your day. It doesn't really have to be that you have to sit in silence. That's important. It's just imagine I say it for me, imagine you have a girlfriend or boyfriend. If I'm spending time with my girlfriend or boyfriend, if I'm on my phone or I'm watching TV or I'm on a date, they ain't gonna like that. But if I invite them in, if I'm cooking food, and I just talk to God and I tell him how my day is, I tell him different things, I tell him what's going on, that's prayer. And prayer, you can get into different avenues of how to do it, but just focus right now on building that relationship. Build a relationship with God. Just talk to him. Invite him into different things in your life. Invite him into your work. Invite him into your school. Before you wake up and brush your teeth, just talk to him. He doesn't have to be a thing where you just sit for 5 minutes. God is always with you. He always hears you. He knows what's going on. He knows everything about you, the good and the bad. So he's always in there everywhere that you go. So just invite him in. And that's the main thing for me, is just inviting him in and noticing that he's there. And Jesus is always over your shoulder. I like this in my videos because it always is like Jesus is right over my shoulder, bro. And he is. He's always with you. He's always listening. And he just wants to talk with you. He just loves you so, so much. And he wants to get to know you. And the only way to hear from him is to really listen, is to sit in silence. So prayer is a type of time where you can go throughout your day. And then if you want to listen, you want to hear from him, it's by reading the word. And that's how you can hear from God, which may sound weird, but it's true. This is how God communicates to you. and also by listening, by sitting in silence and listening and really just meditating on his word or just anything about him, his goodness, just really being able to hear that still small voice. It's going to take a while and you're going to have a long process. And when you first start out, you're not going to want to sit in silence for some reason. It's just how it is. I still don't want to sit in silence, but once you feel that presence of God, once you think of good things, of who God is, the goodness, the life, the just abundance, the joy, the peace, all the things that you can be grateful for, just who God is, once you meditate on who he is and how just beautiful God is and how he created everything and created you, that's just getting really deep into it. But basics now, prayer, invite him into everything. And 3, my final thing is going to be community. So community is going to be your last thing, and that's going to be huge. Find a community. If you don't got community, it's going to be tough because if I don't got a bunch of bros, if I'm playing basketball and I don't got a bunch of bros that are going to help push me and get me better to play basketball, and they all just want to be losers and not win any games, and they just want to pick their nose, then how are we going to win any games? So you got to find yourself some bros, some gals who just want to go out and learn about God, who are just really moving towards God. That's why we created Jesus Generation. We want you to join this family, join this community. You can join our group chat that we got. We're going to build one on Discord, and we're going to have different avenues that you can build online. But I encourage you, go to a church, find an event. There's Young Life. There's different stuff that you can do. Find a community. If it's an online community, whatever it is, search up. There's different apps. There's different resources. Google. Take 30 minutes. Literally right now, I challenge you to take 30 minutes out of your day to just Google and look up some type of community aspect that you can grow closer to God. It's just that easy. And once you do that, it's gonna take you on different avenues, and ask God to lead you to a godly community too. And that's a big thing for me. It's just, that's my big 3 of how to grow closer to God. If you want more videos, let me know in the comments below what questions you have, how we can answer it, different type stuff. But all my videos is going to be raw, unedited type stuff like this. I'm going to just be straight up, and I'm going to tell you what I wish I would have known growing in my faith, because there is a spiritual realm out there, bro. And this is real, and Jesus is real. And you need to start feeling your spiritual side, because the enemy is going to have a grip on you. And trust me, once you find that peace, that joy, that love, that goodness of God, ooh, baby, you do not want to go back to living in this world. So I encourage you, take these 3 steps that I gave you today and apply them to your life, and watch how your life changes. And trust me, bro, it's going to be amazing. So let's get it.